Hello everyone, welcome to the Storytelling in a Pandemic Week 11. Oh my gosh, we're in week 11 already. I know I'm like 80% through this project, 5 more weeks. But hopefully I may just continue, I'm not sure yet, as I'm very thrilled and overwhelmed by the response that I'm getting on this through my messages, emails, and people's feedback. Is just pushing me to do more and more. But as we talk about that later, and I'll update you by the end of the project, which is in 5 weeks. Before we kind of jump into what we're doing today, you all know what we are doing today. In fact, I write that each week in a little note on Facebook before posting the live videos. But as we wait for a few more people to join us today, I'm just going to say that I'm very grateful to Canada Council for the Arts and the Digital Originals Grant for having supported this storytelling in a pandemic sessions and these digital drawing live sessions of mine and this whole project through their grant. So thank you, Canada Council for the Arts, for all the support. This grant has really helped a lot of artists in Canada to pivot their art practice on digital platforms during the pandemic. And my take during this pandemic was to explore and experiment and kind of push myself to just do more of what I could. As things are not in your control, but then what is in your control, you should not miss on those opportunities. And I just thought this was. So here it is, the Oculus Quest, the gadget that I'm using, which gets me into this virtual world that you see me doing things on. You see on the screen this little window at the bottom where you see me wearing this weird gadget, holding this weird stuff in my hand, wearing it on my head, and moving all over the place, maybe dancing at times. But when I enter into this space, you'll see what exactly I see and what I'm making out of it. So welcome everyone to my virtual world. And yeah, as you see, here's my little iconic home on which this whole project is based on. So I have it somewhere in each session, I have it somewhere placed, either after or before we start. So today's session, as we move, and just this phase of being static, nothing seems to be moving, just hoping for positivity, hoping for something good to happen. I just thought, let me just make this session about how I feel. And through my art, I feel really caught up, static. Although I feel I'm moving in this virtual world, I don't seem to be moving in my real world, right? You can't travel, you're just seated at where you are, you're placed at home, and that's where you're supposed to work from, be all the time. You miss your friends, family, you miss going and visiting places. And this is exactly how all of us are feeling at the moment. But in the pandemic, as I moved to this beautiful home of ours, which is located in a beautiful neighborhood, I must say, in a lovely neighborhood in the city of Toronto, in West End and on 24th floor. There have been times when I wake up and I feel, wow, there's nothing to complain in the life. This is just beautiful and I must enjoy. And so I thought, why not just create that similar ambience of enjoying that time in this virtual world for all of my audiences, which is you lovely people who join me every week for these live sessions. So I feel I wake up among the clouds at times when it's, that kind of a weather and it's raining or it's about to rain, or it doesn't even rain most of the time, but it's still where the clouds are real low and you feel it and you really like it, but then you're stuck, this gloomy, dead, dull weather. But there's always a silver lightning in all of those dull moments too. And that's what I'm going to pick on today and create this piece for you. So as I do that, I would also want to learn from you and hear from you of how you're finding these sessions that I do, of these live storytelling, digital drawing sessions that I'm doing with you in virtual reality. So if you have any comments, questions, any concerns, let me know through these comment box in the Facebook live session. You could always do that now, or you could do that later. Send me a quick message, email. I know most of you do that, but I'm just going to say for the ones who joined us for the first time ever. So here, I'm just going round and round. And feel free to share this video on Facebook with your friends, family. I'm learning this gadget. It's been as old as the pandemic has hit us. So it's been over 8 months that I've been using this gadget to explore virtual reality platforms and the digital platforms. So here, as I draw some, or I don't know, draw, paint, create, I don't exactly know what I'm doing in here, as there are different types of tools that this gadget provides, where you could literally paint like an oil paint. You could use acrylic texture and do some acrylic painting. You could use watercolor tool, and you can create something that looks like a watercolor in virtual world. But there's just all sorts of different tools that I'm using here. So this one's smoke, which I think is very useful while I want to draw some kind of a misty weather, clouds, that kind of an ambience. So I'm doing that. But as I do that, and change some colors, tell me how you're finding this. Tell me if you have any questions, if you want to know something, or if you want to learn more about the project or my practice, or this grant that I received, and things like that, or the tool that I'm using and my experience with that. So feel free to comment, share it, and your feedback is very valuable, so I need to know that. And thank you for everyone who's been giving me that so far. It has really helped me to improve and learn and get better, I guess, each week. As we do that, here's something. So yeah, initial few weeks, I think more than 6 or 8 weeks, I used to just sit in one place and do it and use the space, this space around me. But then I thought, let's try this out. Let me just stand and move around and, just kind of bend and show you what I see, kind of move or turn around. And I wanted to give you this wholesome experience of how I feel while I'm wearing this gadget. The screen time or the things that you see on screen doesn't really do enough justice to it. You have to use this gadget to kind of experience it in full. But I'm going to try and do that on screen as well with all these experiments. So tell me what you like better. The sessions that I was seated and kind of just use this space, or now when I'm kind of moving around and letting you into this massive space that I'm in. It's really massive. And as I kind of give some details about the techniques or the technology that this gadget gives me here, you'll see this little human figure, which is what means that I'm viewing this whole space from a human perspective. But when I move here, elephant, I'm viewing it from an elephant's perspective, and when I move here, I'm moving it from a dog's perspective. So that's how it kind of takes me from one level to another when I want to move things around. So here, let me just take it a little low, so that I feel I'm between the clouds, and so do you. And when you look at here, that's my little tiny home space. So let's create this voluminous dark clouds. And for the ones who have just joined us, thank you so much for joining. And this is Storytelling in a Pandemic project, and we are at session 11, week 11. I'm going to do total 16 weeks, and we're almost 70–80% there. I may just continue post 16 weeks. I'm not yet sure. I want to know that if I should or if I should not, or if I should do something else. And that will only happen if I hear from you guys, if I hear from you all, and you tell me of what you want to do, what you want to see me do in this space. as I take this opportunity to co-create with you all, I appreciate all your feedback and your comments and anything that you have to share or let me know. So okay, I'm gonna turn around and see if I feel good about being in the clouds. Totally, I'm not on cloud 9 yet. There's nothing like that that has happened. But here, okay, let me go a little back. Yeah, do you see that? And so when I have done this before, if you see it on my Instagram, you'll figure something similar. It's also titled as Rain Rain. Um, I think that was also in the middle of pandemic. Yes, of course, it has to be in the middle of pandemic. Um, and that was of my, out of my feeling of feeling this static, solid, just being in one space, no movement, frozen. And I did this work called Rain Rain, which you can see on my Instagram, which talks about this current times and life. We all are pushing so hard to move each day, but we all feel stuck in the same realm of this crazy COVID times. So here, I use this to kind of reflect the droplets or the raindrops. And this kind of tool, I'm going to explain a little more, which says diamond, this one says until hull, matte hull, and shiny hull. So it gives me different kinds of texture to it. So this looks more solid. The other one was a little translucent. This is matte. So here. And this one's until hull. So you see a little flat, like it doesn't have any dimension to it. Although it's like 3D, but it's flat when you see around. So I'm gonna just try these different things and show you around. And change the color. And as you hang in there to see what I'm doing, thank you so much for joining me. To all the people who've just joined, welcome to the Storytelling in a Pandemic project, week 11. This is generously supported by the funds received from the Canada Council for the Arts as part of the Digital Originals Grant. So yeah, welcome. And tell me how you find what I'm doing. This is my virtual reality space that I'm exploring as part of my pandemic practice. And kind of just pivoting to a digital platform and exploring this. I must say that I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for pandemic. But now when I look at it, and it's like, I don't really need a pandemic to do all these explorations. Please could you just go away? That's not happening. Anyhow, we're just hoping that it happens soon. But to look at the silver lightning in this dark times, I'm going to say that yes, this time has helped me to contemplate, think, rethink about my practice, tools, everything that I've been doing. I used to do a lot of large scale public installations, which were interactive and involved co-creative process with the audience. I had a grand show at Nuit Blanche last year at Gladstone Hotel, which had like 4,000 people dropping by overnight, transforming my art piece. And that was an experience which I'm very thankful for. And I'm glad that I did it in 2019, as it wouldn't have happened in 2020 and beyond that. I can't even imagine now. But that really changed my outlook towards interactive process, involving the audience in the co-creation and learning from them and looking at their perspective and making them as much as a part of this process and not just seeing them as an audience but bringing them into my space. So here, okay, let's just bring this a little down. So yeah, bringing you all in my space, and that's what I'm trying to do with this virtual reality too. And as I said, I want to hear from you. I want to know what you think. If you have any feedback, any criticism, anything that you would like to tell me, feel free to write it in the comment box. Share it with your friends who you think may enjoy what I'm doing, or connect me to them. I would love to learn if they have a similar practice. and how this has pushed me to overcome my pandemic anxiety. Of course, everyone's going through that. So my way to deal with this to just create and create, keep myself busy in work, be it my day job or my art practice. Also, I must say this, in fact, through my day job at Artsito, because the programs I'm gallery manager, I've had this amazing opportunity to even explore this technology further with the augmented reality AR and work on some projects with amazing artists and technology experts. So I'm learning and getting to learn a lot from them also, which helps my usual art practice. So thank you, Arts Etobicoke, for having me on this project and letting me learn through that. So here, a shout out to our Arts Etobicoke. But yeah, tell me how you find this. I really love this, and I can tell you that while I'm into it, I'm gonna just move around. I'm gonna show you. I may just bang on the walls, but I'll learn if I'm banging around. There. No. Okay. This side I have enough space. This side I have you on my screen, and this side's the wall. So let me just check how far that is. Okay, it's fine. Not that bad. Okay, let's do some more here then. Am I still very much in the frame, Pete? Yeah. Okay, good. So I don't see the screen while I'm doing this. So I just keep on asking my partner who helps me setting up the technology each week. I can't tell you how eagerly he's waiting for the week 16 to arrive, as I have spoiled all these Sundays off lately. But he's sweet. He does that for me all the time. Um, there. Let's get into it. And do you see those layers, like a little solid tiny drop with this beautiful shiny cover on it? And we can try a few more. So that was matte until no. I don't really like this until hut, but I can show you things in it. Let's do some white, grey white drops. You see this? I don't really enjoy this much. Let's go back to either shiny or matte. Do you have any preference, matte or shiny? Anyhow, I'll do both, one after another. And as we do that, most of the times when I see this, or like there's a weather like this, there's oftentimes image that I see the next day in the social media or in blog deal of this beautiful city landscape, nightscape rather, having this lit CN tower struck by electricity or the lightning, or electricity, sorry, lightning. I pick up the tool electricity, but I meant lightning. So here, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna get this. And where was that? Ambers, where are you? Here. With this, I need to change the color. This is exactly how I feel on 24th floor when it's gloomy, dry weather, about to rain, or a night full of thunderstorms and lightning. It's beautiful. It's also scary at times because of the wind. There. And I think I'll just bring this down again to my level and select and do a few more. What do you say? So the ones who just joined us again, I just keep on repeating. So thank you everyone for joining me for this lovely, on this lovely Sunday morning. And so don't just sit and watch. Tell me how you find it. I need to learn from you. So feel free to comment, text me, send me a direct message or email me. And feel free to share it on Facebook if you like what I'm doing. And if you feel there's someone else you could connect me to who's doing similar stuff. I have a few friends who are also exploring this tool, and I'm learning from them. I'm also working on another project in which I'll be creating along with managing the project. So there will be some more stuff coming up on my social media, as that's the place I put everything and anything on related to my work. So feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's my first name, last name, or if you've already like my page on Facebook, you will hear about it on this page too. I really have this fun, weird sculpture in my head using these. And once everything goes back to normal, once you can kind of explore, in-person studios and workshops, I'm gonna try and make a little matter out of this. Or I could just do it through my 3D pen. But that's another thing I've been doing these days, which is cool too, which just gives this physical form for anything and everything that I kind of envision in this virtual space. It's not as easy to do things. I have to kind of practice a lot, which I do on and off. I still don't think I've gotten enough of it, so I don't really have much. But if you go on my um, Instagram, you'll find some of my little tiny sculptures, explorations, as I call them, experts from my daily sculptural sketchbook. You'll be able to see those in there. Here, I like this tool as well. It has this little fluid, and kind of that movement in that, which is fun. Should we just try some other color instead of this dark, shiny thing? Okay. Let's try this one. Oh, I know why it looks that way, because it's dark background. That kind of affects too. So I have this different backgrounds to choose from, and I often use dark backgrounds. I've used black screen here, but there's white and there's pink and lemonade and there's day sky and night sky and space. But I really like the black one for a reason, which I can actually show you how this looks in different backgrounds, and you will completely agree to why I should be just using black for this one. Okay, let's change the environment and then I'll show you how to take some photos. So here's the environment and let's try the pink lemonade. Oh, do you see that? Oh, it looks different. It looks interesting, but it doesn't look what I'm doing or trying to do. Let's try this. Yeah, and this turns everything green. And let's try Illustrator. And this one I really don't, I never feel very convinced of this Illustrator one. And this is my favorite, black, which we're back into it. So let me know which environment you enjoyed seeing this in. And now I'm going to show you to take some photos. Here, this camera. You just hold it in the direction you want to click. And let's bring this up and do it from So how I would see it from my window is, you'll exactly see it how, if I enter this house here, okay? Let us try that. So I'm here, inside my home, and you'll see this now. Through my window, this is what I see. Ooh, love it. I hope you guys like it too, and let me know. And before I do that, I need to save the sketch. Okay, that was saved. I'm gonna get out of the home again and bring you back in here to the outer space filled with clouds. Raindrops, which are frozen, come to a standstill, like our times and lives just now in a pandemic. But there's always a silver lining in this time as well, and that's what we're looking at with this amazing, beautiful piece here. And thank you everyone who've helped me to, feel inspired and take on this work and take on this job and do it for 11 weeks consistently. I'm very motivated to finish this and get on to week 16 and even decide if I want to go further beyond week 16 and keep on doing this and keep on learning from you all through this process of going live, sharing it live, performing it live. While I do practice things before well hand, but I do it everything in real time in front of you. So thank you everyone again for joining me in this live session, and I'll see you again next week Sunday at 11 a.m. with a different topic and a theme. And if you have anything in mind, feel free to send it my way through comment box, and if you like, you want to share it on Facebook, feel free to do that. And you all have a lovely weekend and rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much. Bye.